Hello, YouTube, valued viewers and knife enthusiasts, one and all. Byron at Splitting Slices. Welcome back to the Knife and EDC channel. Today is a thankful Thursday, August 27, 2026. And that means we need to get into this box that just came in this afternoon from Red Hill Cutlery. Now, I'm going to spare you the details. The thing barely fits on my recording table. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pause the video momentarily. I'm going to break open this box and we'll take a look at the contents. One item I know is a knife, but we got a couple others to show you too and talk about the upcoming event at Red Hill Cutlery, Bourbon Blades 2026. Stay tuned. All right, let's go ahead and take a look in stages everything that was in this box, because I do want to show all the items that were in here. They all have something to do with either the knife I purchased or the upcoming festival being held at Red Hill Cutlery. So let's go ahead and we'll go through the literature first. So if you are not familiar with Red Hill Cutlery is a knife shop owned by the Basham family, and they are located at 92 Bourbon Trace, Radcliff, Kentucky, 40160. Now, Radcliff is just a few miles away from the Fort Knox Army Base and, of course, our National Gold Depository, and that is about 30 minutes south of Louisville, right off of I-65. So, if you can make it, you will want to attend Red Hill Cutlery on Saturday, September 12th, 2026. That would be about 3 weeks from now, because they are going to have one of their annual and biggest festivals that they have at the store. It is what they call Bourbon Blades. Now, the reason the festival is called Bourbon Blades is because there is next door to the knife shop a Kentucky bourbon distillery called Boundary Oak Distilleries. It is one of the distilleries listed on the Bourbon Trail. That is a collection of distilleries all through Kentucky that you can visit and tour, and Boundary Oak is one of those. And they kind of participate side by side with the festival. You can go in during the hours that the Bourbon Blades Festival is ongoing to basically take a tour of the distillery, do some sample tasting, and see all of their products as well. And they are literally located right across the alley from the knife shop, and so you can do both of these activities in the same day if you're interested. Now, the Bourbon Blades Festival focuses on buck knives, and in fact, let's turn it over here. Right now, and I think this is for the third or fourth year in a row, it is planned on having the chairman of the Buck Knives Company, C.J. Buck, will be planning on attending this event. And if you purchase a Buck event knife, and as I understand it, there will be 4 separate event knives for this year's festival. If you purchase any or all of those knives and you would like to have that signed by the president of Buck Knives, C.J. Buck, he will do so during the event. So that is something to consider if you're thinking about a Christmas gift or that special knife gift for somebody and they like Buck knives, or you would just like to have one yourself autographed and signed by him. He will etch that in the blade with a steel or a carbide tipped etcher, and you could keep that knife for yourself or give it to a friend. So that is just one of the things that they do at the festival. They also offer door prizes. There'll be some swag that you can pick up, such as Buck stickers, etc. And you can pick up some other clothing that Red Hill will have if you are interested in that. Now, they also will have a Bourbon Blades Zippo lighter that will be available for purchase. And it looks like they're even advertising here a couple case knives that they have currently at Red Hill Cutlery that are limited editions. So it's not all Buck knives on Bourbon Blades, but 90% of it is, okay? Now, you can purchase any knife that Red Hill sells at the store that day of the event. But again, the focus will be on buck knives and supporting the buck company. Now, at the end of the day, after dinner, okay, starting around, I want to say sometime around 7 p.m., probably going to about 10 or 11 p.m., there will be a free sponsored concert by the city of Radcliff and Buck Knives and Red Hill Cutlery and Boundary Oak Distillery, and it will be held in a small concert venue behind both of those stores. And Martina McBride is the headliner, and there will be 2 additional acts. I believe it is here. It says Mickey James and Coffee Anderson, if you are familiar with those artists, are also planning to play at the concert. Now, there is for purchase special available seating, and you have to work with Red Hill Cutlery in order to purchase those pre-event. But then there will be areas where you can stand and listen to the concert as well. So this is just the final event for the day. And again, is usually held between about 7 and 10 or 10:30 at night. So think about making a day of it at Red Hill Cutlery. All right. Now, let's go ahead and turn this back over. And it shows a couple of those knives here. But again, the event will be starting on Saturday, September 12th, 2026, and will go from about 9 a.m. till noon. If you want a event knife, my recommendation is to be there by 9 so that you can get potentially a pre-sales ticket, which will guarantee you the ability to buy 1 or more of the event knives. That is usually how they handle the pre-sales activities before the store opens at 10 a.m. on Saturday. All right. Now here is some additional literature that came in with the knives. Just shows some of the additional case knife set, Baron Son sets that they have. Okay. And over here, they even have a couple knives that are made by Cooper Cutlery in Winchester, Ohio, available, such as the Big Chief and the Clyde Cutlery Red Jig Bone Caper. All right. And of course, they have other brands available. There is, again, a copy of their business hours and phone numbers, should you care to visit the knife capital of Kentucky, the Kentucky Traditional Pocket Knives Museum that is also at the shop, and of course, the home of the certified world's largest pocket knife, which happens to be a Case XX Barlow, that is located outside of the store. All right, that's going to do it for the literature. I'm going to pause the video, and we're going to show you a couple of the festival t-shirts that are being made this year for Bourbon Blades. Stay tuned. All right, everybody. I wanted to show these because I think they do a great job at Red Hill Cutlery on their logoed apparel. They have hats, they have shirts, they have sweatshirts, they have sweaters. They have a full array of apparel that you can buy that has not only Red Hill Cutlery store logos on it, but they also do special apparel when they are having a couple of their festivals. And this is, of course, their largest one, so they do this every year. So here are 2 shirts that I picked up that are this year's 2026 Bourbon Blades Festival t-shirts. Now, this is the logo that will be on the back of the shirt if you purchase. You have a oak barrel that says Red Hill Cutlery. You've got a couple knives in the corners. You have some music sheets running through behind the guitars. And, of course, that just symbolized the combined bourbon, knives, and concert as part of this festival. And I think they just make a great t-shirt. Now, this is the back of the shirt. This is the red with the blue and the white logo. They have a black shirt. Now, this is the front logo that will be on the chest of the shirt of all of them, basically at the pocket location. So this will be on the front of all the t-shirts. This will be your back logo in all the t-shirts. And this year they have 3 colors. They have the red, they have the black, and then they've got I want to call it's a green colored shirt, but it's almost like a blue-green. Okay, so almost not quite an aqua or watercolored, but approaching that, okay? So take a look on Red Hill Cutlery's website if you're interested in ordering apparel. I do recommend if you take the bigger sizes. They sell everything from small up to a adult 3XL. If you need the larger sizes, I recommend you order the shirts before the day of the event because they do go fast. Other than that, that's the apparel that was in the box. And now I'm going to pause the video and we're going to take a look at the final two items, a sticker and a 250-year knife. Stay tuned. All right, so finally, let's go ahead and unbox the knife that I purchased at RHC as part of this package. I had purchased a couple of case event knives that had 250 years on it, but I did not pick up a special edition knife completely celebrating our 250 years. And I saw this one at Red Hill Cutlery, and I've actually seen it on a couple other videos. And the folks that showed this knife enjoyed it, and I thought I might like it too. And I've been thinking about purchasing a Bear & Sons Large Barlow, but I have yet to do so. So I thought I'd take care of all this and go ahead and pick up one of their limited special editions from Red Hill Cutlery as well as Bear & Sons, and this is the American 250 Years of Freedom Large Barlow knife. This is the 4-inch bladed version, and I think we've got a picture of basically the founding fathers. And here's the certificate of authenticity from Red Hill Cutlery saying this is a limited edition knife. Let's go ahead and get into this. Of course, it's always wrapped in like a wax butcher type paper with the Bear & Sons logo. But this should be the one that says, "We the People." And the picture of the Founding Fathers signing the Declaration of Independence. And there it is right there, folks. So this is my first Bear & Sons large 4-inch Barlow. I've been wanting to pick one of these up for a couple years now. Was just kind of waiting for the right price or the right knife to come along. And then when this one came out and it was the limited edition and then had the Founding Fathers picture on there and the Declaration, it all just kind of came together and said, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and pick this one up. So there it is. So there is the picture of the Founding Fathers with the Declaration of Independence. Let's go ahead and turn it over, and I think this side, oh, this is just white bone. Okay. Well, I thought this one said "We the People" on it, but maybe that is another. They must have several different knives, but that's okay. I like this one. It's got the picture on it. That's what I wanted. So I just thought it also said "We the People," but there must be a secondary knife. I know they did a couple of the 250-year knives, so that must be a separate one. But I am fine with this. Let's go ahead and open this up. Of course, you got a nice fuller nail nick on these 4-inch Barlows. There you go. That says 250. And this says 1 of 100. So I do think they only made 100 of these knives. We've got the Bear & Son logo as well on the stamp. And then just a plain side on the pile side of the knife. But that's all right. I do enjoy the picture and kind of saw that, but I thought the other side said "We the People," but it must just be two different knives. So I am not disappointed in this, and this is of course the larger Barlow, the 4-inch. Definitely a third, you know, that bolster is a third of the length of the knife handle. So definitely signifies a Barlow. And of course you've got that beautiful swedged and fuller nail-nicked sheep's foot blade. All right. At a 4-inch length. So that will work. Half stop. Nice walk and talk on it. I'll take that. Yeah, that one. This will be just fine. So there we go. There is my dedicated 250-year knife for the anniversary of our country's declaration from Great Britain, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and the celebration of July 4th, 2026. All right, well, there you go. I'm just going to stick it in the box for now. We'll get that all arranged later, get the box filed. do I file that under 4th of July or 250? Decisions. That's going to do it for me. Byron at Splitting Slices saying thanks for sticking with me. And until my next video, everybody, please take care.